Hi everyone, and welcome back to another reading vlog. It is day one of Spooktober, which also means it is the final week of October, so I gotta try and fit in all of these spooky reads into just 1 week, but it's actually after 7 o'clock at night. I have been pretty busy all day. It's my day off, so like I had to take my cat to the vet this morning, and then we're just like running errands all day, so I haven't really been able to pick up the camera and vlog, or even really read for that matter until now. So yeah, the book I am currently reading is not on my TBR because I plan to read it during like the couple days in between Spookathon and Spooktober, but for some reason I just fell into like a little bit of a reading slump, probably because my reading has been so good this whole month that it was just like, well, you can't do any more after that. So yeah, but hopefully that'll be different this week. But basically, that book was The Shining by Stephen King, which is almost 700 pages, so I'm up to page like 166. I read like 50 pages of it today while I was like waiting at the vet and stuff, but the likelihood of me finishing this week is unlikely, so I think I might just put this down for the week, or I might just kind of like slowly read it here or there throughout the week while reading the books that are actually on my TBR. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now because I actually don't know what book to pick up first because I'm like so excited for all of the books that were on my TBR, and I actually printed out, because I'm taking this readathon very seriously, I printed out the like full challenge checklist, which this took me like 20 minutes to print out because my like technological nemesis in life are printers. Like, they're always either out of ink, out of paper, or just don't stinkin' work, which is what was happening at home, and I also have to deal with printers all the time at work, and they never work for me, so I'm just not a fan of printers. So it took me like 20 minutes to print this out, but now that I have it, I can like physically check off the challenges as I complete them. So one of the challenges is to actually read a book someone picked for you, so I think I might actually run either a poll on my Twitter or my Instagram and have you guys pick what book I pick up first for the readathon, since clearly I can't decide. So I think I'm going to do that, and then just in like the meantime, to let the poll run for a little bit, I will read The Shining, or I might just not read at all and I'll like watch YouTube videos or something, because that's what I've been doing a lot of lately. But yeah, that is currently where I'm at with my reading, which isn't very good. So yeah, I will update y'all later when I find out what book I'm going to be picking up. Hey guys, so it is the next day. I just got home from work, so it's a little after 7, and of course my camera battery has started flashing, but hopefully it's got just enough battery life left to do this little clip. So last night I ended up just reading The Shining, so I'm up to page 210. I didn't get super far, but I decided to just run the poll for picking my first book through the night. So I ran a poll between The Book Thief, These Broken Stars, and The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, and I was like pretty sure that The Book Thief was going to win because so many people love it, but this actually won out. Holding it upside down. But yeah, I'm kind of shocked it did, but I'm not mad about it at all because I really wanted to read this book. So I'm going to start this tonight, and yeah, I think that basically sums up my plans. I'm going to light a nice candle, read my book, it's going to be great. I had to print out another one of these because that's what happened to the other one. So that is how this is going. I haven't read any book on my TBR, and day 2 is almost over, and my camera battery is flashing, so I guess that sums it up. Hi everyone, so as per usual, it is the next day, which makes it Spooktober day 3, I think. Before anybody asks, yes, I am wearing a Christmas sweater because basically the store that I work at is pretty much Christmas at this point, and this is one of the sweaters that we sell, so I'm wearing it. If you have a problem that it's Christmas before Halloween, just keep it to yourself because about 10 people told me today at work. Anyways, I started reading The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein last night, and I'm only on page 54 because as much as I'm actually really enjoying this book, it is a very slow-paced book, which usually I wouldn't really like, but because I am enjoying the story and the characters so much, I'm okay like lingering in the scenes a little bit longer. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm hoping to read a bunch more of it tonight. I have off from work tomorrow, so hopefully I can stay up late tonight and read and also get a lot done spend tomorrow. So yeah, that's basically all that I've done with my reading since last night, but I'm hoping to check off one of the challenges of reading a book while being like warm and cozy, because I've lit a candle, I've got my Christmas sweater. What's more cozier than that? I don't know if that was proper English, but anyways. Oh yeah, that's pretty much all I have to update you on for now, but maybe I will talk to you again tonight. Guys, so it is now day 4 of Spooktober, I think, which is just absolutely tragic because I am barely getting any reading done at all. But today is my day off, so it's a little bit past 12 in the afternoon. So I'm running iMovie again on my computer, so my computer fan is running really loud. I'm sorry if you can hear it. So last night I read a little bit of The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, and then I put the book down, walked away, came back, and my cat was sleeping on top of it. Which, for whatever reason, books are like her favorite thing to sleep on. Like, my entire bed could be empty, nice comfy bed, but there'll be one book on it, and she will choose to sleep on top of that book instead of just like sleeping on the bed. But yeah, so I was like, well, I can't read that now because I will not disturb my cat's slumber. So I instead decided to start reading a little bit more of The Shining. So I read up to page 256 in this book, and I realized I didn't really talk a lot about my thoughts on this book in this vlog, but I am really enjoying it. I'm trying not to compare it to the movie too much because I also really enjoyed the movie, but I know that like they're kind of different and they have different endings, and Stephen King himself wasn't very happy with the movie adaptation, so I'm trying not to compare them too much, but so far I am really enjoying this book. And yeah, Stephen King, his writing is just very captivating for some reason. So then finally my cat got off the book and I picked up this again, and I only read up to page 85. Like I said, this is a very like slow-paced book, so it takes quite a while to get through it, but I am still really enjoying it. I really like these characters, which is kind of weird to say because they're all very, I would consider them to be very like morally gray characters, but I don't know if we'll ever dive into like the psychology of these characters in this book and like why they think the way they do, but I just find them so fascinating. So yeah, I'm still really enjoying both of these books, and I'm hoping to get, hopefully, like I keep saying this, but I keep jinxing myself, so I want to try and finish this book today because it's not that long, but at 1 o'clock, like I said, it's currently a little bit after 12, I have to pick up my cat from the vet, which I really don't want to talk about because for some reason, like anytime something bad happens or is happening or might happen, for some reason in my head I'm like, if I don't say it out loud then it's not actually happening, which is like really unhealthy. But my cat has like had this thing under her eye and she gets very stressed out at the vet, so my mom brought her in early this morning because she had to be sedated at the vet in order to get like the x-rays and stuff, but she's getting out at 1, so I have to go and pick her up, and I'm just kind of like freaking out about the results, which I kind of got a little bit of it over like what my mom told me over text, that they kind of need a second opinion, so it could be something not so good, but it might not be, but we don't know yet. Either way, it's making me really nervous because my other cat literally just passed away last month in September, so I just don't want to have to deal with any more bad news. So today it's my day off. I'm just going to go pick up my cat, bring her home, make sure she's all comfortable after her probably very stressful day, and I'm just going to read with her because that's what we like to do. I read, she sits on the books. And yeah, so I am going to start heading out soon because it takes about a half hour to get to the vet, and like I said, I have to be there at 1. So yeah, that is my plan for today, and I will update you guys later. Hey guys, so I just got back from the vet. My poor kitty is still like so groggy and she's just laying on the kitchen floor right now, and it's making me so sad. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm currently making myself some mashed cauliflower because that is literally the only food that was in the house. I realized as soon as I left that I should have left earlier and gone to the grocery store and picked something up because we literally have no food in the house. So mashed cauliflower for lunch it is. And yeah, after that gets out, I'm going to read some more of this just for the rest of my afternoon. And so it's a bit later in the evening now. I look like an absolute mess. I look like after I've fallen asleep for like 5 hours, but I swear I've actually been awake this entire time. But it's like 6:45 in the evening, and I'm on page 180 of this book, and I'm still really enjoying it. I think I'm exactly 100 pages from the ending, so I'm going to keep on reading this, but I'm going to take a little bit of a break and watch some more of Scream 3, which I've been like watching over the last 2 days, because I'm horrible at watching movies. It takes me like a week to watch one movie, so that's what I'm going to do. And then when I watch a little bit of that, because I probably won't finish it, I'm just going to get right back into this, because I'm really excited to see how it ends. I was reading some reviews of it on Goodreads, and so many people, their review was just like, that ending though, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta know what it is. So yeah, this book is looking like a 5-star read right now, unless like the ending is actually awful, which I really hope it isn't, but right now it's like a 5-star read. Hey guys, so it is the next night. I just got home from work about an hour ago, and in that time I finished The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, and this book, I really don't know what to say about it. I'm giving it 4.5 stars because you can't do half ratings on Goodreads. It's just going to be a 5-star read. I super duper enjoyed this story. There is really nothing, well, as far as like love stories go, there is no love story I love more than like a tragic love story. And I don't think that's really like a spoiler to say that, because most people know that this is based off of Frankenstein, so you kind of have like an idea of how the story is going to go for the most part. But yeah, this really was a tragic love story, and I really enjoyed all of those aspects of the story. I really enjoyed all of the story. I know like some people consider this to be a horror book, but I would consider it to just be a historical fiction with horror elements. I didn't find it to be particularly like horrifying for most of it. Like, it had those elements to it, like I said, but I wouldn't really consider this to be a horror book. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a very character-driven book, which I think a lot of the reasons other people might have problems with the story is because it's kind of slower because of the plot of it, and it's, like I said, very much driven by the characters, which I'm a very character-driven reader, so it's no surprise that I really liked it. But I did also really like the story. I'll be honest, I read Frankenstein I think back in 2016, and I really don't remember any of it. Like, I remember bits and pieces, so some of the little, like, I don't know if you call them Easter eggs or whatever, I picked up on, but I'm sure that there's like some other stuff that I totally missed. Also not sure exactly like how much of the story was from the original Frankenstein and how much was like its own twist on the story. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. The only reason that I didn't give it a full 5 stars was because of this one part at the ending. I don't really want to talk about it because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I think I might put like a little spoiler thing on the screen, and then when it disappears you can like unmute the video because the spoiler will be over. But I just really want to bring this up for anybody who has read it, so spoilers now, so mute your screen. So the one thing that I just wish would have happened at the end, which would have made this story just that little much better for me, was if Elizabeth had also drowned in the lake. Because yeah, like I said, I just love a tragic love story, and I know like I was really scared to like share my thoughts on it because I know that their relationship was like kind of problematic or whatever, but I've always loved not even like really villain like love stories, but even things like Bonnie and Clyde. I don't know why, like I get that they weren't particularly good people, but I just enjoy learning about those kinds of like love stories, if that makes sense. I hope this doesn't make me sound like a psychopath, but yeah, I've always loved that. So I kind of wish that Elizabeth and Victor had just like both drowned at the end, because it would have just, you know, been that tragic story that I love to read about. So yeah, the spoiler is over now, so you can resume listening. So yeah, because it's like, I don't know, day 6 or something, or day 5 of the readathon, and I just finished my first book, I tried so hard to make this book count for as many challenges as possible. So I think I was able to make it count for 7 challenges. So the first one is a hayride, a book with a journey or quest. So Elizabeth makes multiple journeys in this book to different places on a quest to find Victor and like some other things at other points. The next one is Haunted House, which is to read a spooky book. I'd consider this to be pretty spooky. Apple Picking, which is to read a book someone picked for you. So at the beginning of this video I posted a poll on Twitter and let you guys pick my first read, and this was the one y'all picked. Petting Zoo, a book with an animal in it. So there's like very minimal mention of like animals in this book, but at one point there's a deer, and then I think there's a bird mentioned at another point, which I should probably also mention as far as this book, a trigger warning for animal and child like abuse slash violence, I guess. So just be aware of that. And then Face Painting, a book that features transformation. We do see some transformation. Obviously it's like Frankenstein story, so there's like, you know, turning things into other things. You consider that a transformation, but there's also like the character progression, which I would consider to be a transformation. Bobbing for Apples, a book that features water. There's water mentioned a couple times in this book, like whether it's in the lake or it's like raining. There's lots of mention of water. And then Bonfire, which is to read a book while being warm and cozy, which I did a couple of times this week by lighting a nice candle. I was wearing some cozy jumpers this week and just reading my book nice and cozy like. So yeah, those are about 7 challenges that I was able to make this book complete. So the next challenge I'm going to try and complete is to read a book in 24 hours. So there is a poetry book that I've been wanting to reread, and I've been saving it to reread during this time of year. That is The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories. I don't know if you can tell, but this book is covered in cat hair because it's like a cloth cover, so everything gets stuck to it, which is kind of annoying. But I read this book, I think last year maybe, and I absolutely enjoyed it. Did I say it was by Tim Burton? I don't know. But it's just a little like poetry collection. I could definitely knock this out in like an hour because most of the stories are pretty short. So yeah, I'm going to read this and hopefully that will complete the Devour a Book in 24 Hours challenge, and I think that's literally the only challenge that it can complete. But at least it completes another whole book for this readathon, so that's good enough for me. Hi guys, so it is now the next day, which makes it day 6 of Spooktober, and it has been a day, is the only way I can really describe it. But let me start at the beginning. So last night I started and finished The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories by Tim Burton. I just love these stories. Just like when I read it last year, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars this year. I can't really say anything else besides the fact that I just love it. And it's definitely not for everybody. If you do not understand like his dark humor or just, you know, dark kind of morbid things in general, then this is definitely not going to be the book for you. But it is just my cup of tea, and I'm sure I'll probably reread this many times in the future. But the only challenge this really completed was the Devour a Book in 24 Hours challenge. It could work for some of the other challenges that I already completed, like reading a book with water in it. This one definitely had a lot more water in it than The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, so I guess we could say that this book went for that challenge. But then last night I also decided to start I'm Thinking of Ending Things. This is a book that I got from the library just the other day, and I wasn't planning on reading it during this readathon, but for some reason I just felt really drawn to pick it up last night, and so I decided to do that. And then this morning I finished it, which I was not expecting, but I read this book in literally 2 sittings because it just had me gripped straight away. And yeah, this was a very strange book to like explain my thoughts about because I don't even really know if I know what my thoughts are. So I did talk about this book in my wrap-up, where I think I probably compiled my thoughts a little bit better than I can do right now, and I also don't want to just like repeat myself. So if you want to learn more about this book and my thoughts on it, I would recommend going over and watching my wrap up or going over to my Goodreads. My cat is scratching at the door, so I'm going to let her out. But this morning, or this afternoon rather, I tried to film 2 videos. I tried to film a book haul and then also my wrap up for the month. And both of them just did not go well. Usually it's like my thoughts don't come out of my mouth right, but this time like I was actually putting my thoughts together pretty well, but my camera decided to just malfunction and it constantly was shutting off. And I don't know if you have this happen to you as well, if you have like a Canon camera, but my camera, I feel like when I first got it, it would record for like a certain period of time and then it would like automatically stop recording, and I think a lot of them do that, but I feel like that time that it will record for progressively just gets shorter and shorter as I own this camera. And so it used to be like every 11 minutes this camera will shut off, but now as of like the past couple of months, randomly it will just like turn off. Like I'll hit record and like 15 seconds later it'll say like recording automatically stopped, and that kept happening while I was filming these 2 videos. And it's so hard when like you've got a good flow going and then it's like video has stopped recording and it's like, well, why? So that is how my afternoon has been going. I also just realized I went off on a little tangent without telling you that I rated this book 4.5 stars and it also completed a couple more challenges. I totally forgot about that part, but here we go. So one of the challenges it completed was Corn Maze, a book you think will have twists and turns. I was pretty sure this book would, and it like kind of did, really big at the ending. And then the other challenge it completed was Ferris Wheel, a book from a unique perspective. This one is a little bit more of a stretch, but if you read the book you understand how it's kind of by a unique perspective, but I can't tell you because that would be a spoiler. It could have also worked for the challenge of Petting Zoo, which is a book with an animal in it because it's had some farm animals in it. And then, what else? It could also have worked for the Devour a Book in 24 Hours challenge because I definitely read it in like 12 hours altogether. So yeah, I really enjoyed that book. And that leaves me with exactly 4 other challenges to complete, which at this point, I just don't think I'm going to finish any more books this week. I am just going to focus on reading The Shining for right now, and then tomorrow is Halloween, and so I am going, well, I'm trying to go pretty all out with my costume because we do trick-or-treating at the mall that I work at, so I'm going to try and dress up in this costume and hand out candy to the kids, and I might stay a bit later than what I'm scheduled to stay, so if I do, then I'm not going to really have a lot of time tomorrow to read, and that's the end of the readathon after that. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna like slowly read The Shining over the next 2 days. I seriously doubt I'll finish it because I still have like another 500 pages or something before I get to the ending, but yeah, that is how my reading is going so far, and I guess I will just update y'all a little bit later if I read a little bit more. Hey guys, so it is currently about 7 o'clock in the evening on Halloween. I am just gonna be honest, I have not read since the last time I updated you, so unfortunately I don't really have any good way to end this vlog except that I read like, what, 2 books and 1 poetry collection, which isn't too bad, and I completed like all of the challenges except for I think 4. I completed all the challenges except for 4. Which, considering there were like 14 challenges, I feel pretty proud of myself for. So yeah, I am going to end this reading vlog here. As you can see, it's Halloween. I dressed up as Anna. We do like trick-or-treating at the mall that I work at, so me and one of the guys I work with, he dressed up as Charlie Brown. We handed out candy to all the kids, and it was a lot of fun, and kids were taking pictures with us, and I got a lot of hugs from a lot of little kids. So yeah. That is the end of my Spooktober reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!
You hear that, Samson?